Man, what a beautiful day. This is day 3 of our hay dry down. We cut on a Monday, and today, well, we cut Monday evening, and today is Thursday. It's about 2 p.m. and this hay's drying down great. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles channel here at Cross Timbers Farm. Glad to have you with us today. My name's Darren, and thanks for dropping by our channel today.
And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
We are in the middle of our second cut of hay on the main hay field. We've had to cut around all of our foxtail, and if you follow the channel very long, you're familiar with what we're doing here. And the hay is drying down fabulous. I've come back out here to the barn and to the hay field, and I'm getting ready to ted this hay again. I tedded this hay Monday evening late, right after we cut it, just to spread it out. So Tuesday morning it doesn't be spread out when the sun comes out. We tedded it midday Tuesday, and I tedded it very gently Wednesday. I went around the field here yesterday with the tractor in a higher ground speed, a higher gear, with a faster ground speed, but a lower RPM, and turned this hay to stir it up very gently. It done wonders. It done excellent. It was drying down good, but it's really dried down. Okay, a while ago I came out here and I walked around and I took my hay rake, or when I say hay rake, I'm talking about my hand rake, like a mulch fork. I always keep one strapped to my tractor during hay season. And I walked around and I flipped some of this hay over, and in some of the thicker areas, there was just a little bit of some underneath. It was not drying as good as the rest of it in the thicker areas. You ever baled and you're testing moisture in bales with a moisture meter, and most of them will test 12, 13%, and you can move your moisture probe 4 inches, and all of a sudden you hit kind of a wet spot in there of a little clump of hay that just did not get dried good as the rest of it, and all of a sudden that moisture runs up to 20. That's usually where that happens. Places where the hay's thicker, and when it got stirred and tedded and raked and whatever, there was just some little spots in there that never just got, for some reason or another, never got kicked right. They were the tines on the tedder just missed them by that much, or whatever. Okay, usually that happens in your thicker spots. We're gonna run back over this field really quick, and I'm not even gonna ted the areas that's a little thinner. I'm only gonna go through the really thick areas with a tedder, and I'm gonna put the tractor on up into maybe a higher gear, maybe just normal speed, but I'm gonna be on a very slow RPM to let those baskets just gently turn and stir this hay up a little bit so some airflow can get going through it, because we're anticipating baling hay tomorrow, at least in this field. The hay's drying really good. I gave it a twist test a few minutes ago, and it's almost there. And we got a lot going on the farm today. As soon as we get this hay tedded, I'm gonna unhook the tedder, park it in the barn, because I do not anticipate needing it anymore. And we're gonna put our forks on the pallet, forks on the loader, and we got some concrete to go unload out of the bed of our farm truck and bring to the barn for our ballast box build. And then we'll get all that unloaded. Then we're gonna hook up the hay rake, anticipating needing it tomorrow. A lot going on. Thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, I'd really appreciate it if you consider that for us. It really helps us. It encourages us to keep making videos. And I looked on our analytics page on our YouTube channel, And it's like 80% of the people that watch our channel are not subscribed. If everyone that watched our channel would subscribe, goodness gracious, it would really, really help us. So I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. I don't say this much. I leave all that subscribing stuff for you to decide for yourself. Rarely will you hear me ask you to subscribe to our channel. But if you do enjoy our content, consider that for us. It would really help us. Thank you. All right, enough of that stuff. Let's get to work. Okay, folks, we're ready to start tedding. The tractor's warmed up, seatbelt on. We're going to ted in high range first gear, but I'm going to only run my RPMs about 1,500, pretty low. I'm going to use my auto throttle. And I'm kicking this. Right now I'm at about 1,300 RPMs. And that basket's barely moving. Perfect. Really stir this hay up. Just stirring it. It ain't kicking it, just stirring it. It's doing great. Man, is that some thick hay. I'm telling you, that's some good hay too. And I don't know that I'm gonna kick out in the middle of the field. It's not piled up as thick as it is around these edges. I'm doing about 1,300 RPM, that's slow. Slid a little bit there. My tractor's in 2-wheel drive. If I don't need the 4-wheel drive, I usually take it out, wasting fuel. Stirring it really good. These heavy areas, it's doing a good job. Actually doing a really good job. I'm kicking it so gentle that I don't see how it could be damaging any leaves. If you could see right here behind me, right down in where this is kicking it, oh, it's doing a great job. Gently kicking it, fluffing it up. It ain't even kicking it hard enough to throw the hay off the tines, hardly. See that? Man, it's doing a great job. Yeah, this is slow. If you had a lot of acres to do, this would be time consuming. But that's what makes small family farm hay special. Small family farms will take the time to do stuff like this to the hay. Man, that is some thick hay. some of this hay's so thick that the little small round baler may have a time. I'll have to bale slow, keep from jamming that feeder up where it pulls in the hay. Slid a little bit again. I don't think out here in the middle of the field I'm gonna have to ted it again. I think I'll skip it. I'm just gonna ted these thicker areas. Because I got out here with my fork and raked around a little bit. And out in the middle of the field, there was hardly no damp spots. It was all pretty dry. All the dampness was around the edges. Yeah, this is time consuming, but it's gonna make some good hay. Premium hay. Now the test plot is not drying quite as good as this side is. So I think I'm gonna ted the whole test plot. Of course it's small and I can do it quickly. But I'm also gonna do it gently, just like I am this. Look at that. It ain't even really kicking it. It's just throwing it back just a short distance. Right there is 1,300 RPMs. Man, that is kicking that hay wonderfully. Well, it ain't really kicking it, it's just stirring it. Yep, this is painstakingly slow, but it's going to produce really good results. little test plot now. And we can do this pretty quickly. We'll put our tractor in four-wheel drive because it slopes on that far end. A little more than I'd be comfortable in this slick hay. Again, very slow speed. This is a small area, so we can do it pretty quick, even in this slow speed. All we're going to do is just stir this up. Gently stir it up. We're at about 1,300 RPMs. I don't know if we'll bale this tomorrow or Saturday. The hay will tell us. It's not dried quite as good as the main hay field, so. We shall see. Getting that thing in here is like wrestling a bear. I'm about out of breath. It's a hump to get it up in the barn. And we got our barn just a little bit on the hump so water won't run in, it runs out. And then getting it turned, it won't fit through our barn door openings. Our barn door's 10 foot. And this is, with the guards on it, it's about 10.5 foot. Yeah, that close, but it won't go through without turning it sideways and dragging it a little bit. So, that's unloaded. Let's get our pallet forks on and go start unloading some ready mix concrete. we got our rake leveled up. We took it down to our paved driveway where it's really level and adjusted the top link and the adjustable side link to get this rake sitting even pressure on all 4 wheels. So everything's ready for tomorrow. The hay's drying really good. No more tedding. We've already put the tedder up for the time being. The rake's hooked up and ready to roll tomorrow. So we'll get this raked into windrows tomorrow, soon as the dew's dry off of it. Probably around 11:30 a.m. somewhere in there. And then start baling once we get it raked up. I'm almost sure we'll be baling some tomorrow, at least the back, or the main hay field. What we did cut. I'm almost sure we'll be baling that tomorrow, and it could be Saturday for the test plot, the day after. Tomorrow's Friday. So we've got everything done, and I have greased up these rake wheels, gave them a shot of grease, and they're in each wheel and the bearing, and they're good to go, and everything's leveled up and lined up and leveled and ready to put this hay into windrows. Some of these windrows, I'm afraid, on the outer edges are going to be big, and we're going to use the net wrap baler from Carver Equipment in the main hay field. Probably use our twine wrap in the test plot because it's smaller, and I want to try out those gathering wheels. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. We got a lot to try tomorrow. We got gathering wheels to try and the net wrap baler to try. So, and then the accumulator to try. Once we got bales laying around in the field, we normally drive around with a 4-wheeler, and if you've watched our videos, you know we drive around with the 4-wheeler with a trailer hooked to that 4-wheeler and just pick the bales up as we are baling. That way we don't have to go back later and just spend an hour gathering bales or longer. So, but tomorrow I think we're going to leave bales just lying in the field so we can try out the prototype accumulator from Carver Equipment and give some feedback on it. So thanks for being with us today. I really appreciate it. We've had a lot going on the farm, a lot around our home going on. We're going to be rebuilding the floor in a trailer. We got a lot of stuff going on. That's what the lumber you saw earlier in the bed of the truck's for. It's treated 2x8x8s. And we're going to be replacing the floor in a utility trailer. Just lots of stuff going on around the farm. Thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it. Come back with us tomorrow and the next day. We got a lot of baling coming up. We're going to be using this new equipment from Carver Equipment, the net wrap baler and the accumulator. Really looking forward to trying out that accumulator. I've drove it around on the farm, but I've not actually used it out picking up, scooping up bales. So we're looking forward to that. A lot of stuff to report back on, the gathering wheels, stuff like that. So we got some interesting stuff coming up. Thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it. And I pray God blesses you and your family. And we pray y'all have a fantastic day.